All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the internet. We're going to use this super powerful but simple tool called curl to really understand HTTP. And what's HTTP? Well, it's the basic language that every single app and website uses to talk to each other. I mean, really think about it for a second. When you upload a photo or you check the weather on your phone, your device is having a full-on conversation with a server somewhere. But what's it actually saying? That's what we're going to figure out. We're going to learn the actual verbs of that conversation. So, to do all this, we're going to need a tool. And our tool of choice is curl. You can honestly think of it as the Swiss Army knife for anyone who works with the web. At its core, curl is just this little program that you run from your terminal. Its whole job is to let you send the exact same kind of requests your browser sends, but you get to craft them by hand. And the best part? You see the raw, totally unfiltered response right from the server. It's on practically every computer out there, and it is an amazing way to learn how things really work. Now, to play around with this stuff safely, we're not going to hit a real live website. Instead, we'll be using this awesome service called request.in. It's basically a fake server that's built just for testing. It just sits there, listens for our requests, and gives us back realistic-looking responses, so we can experiment without breaking anything. Okay, let's get our hands dirty. We're going to start with the two most common things you ever do on the web, getting data that's already there and creating something totally new. First up is get. This one is the absolute foundation of the web. Seriously, every single time you type a web address into your browser and press enter, you are sending a GET request. All you're doing is asking the server, hey, can you please get me whatever is at this address? And using curl for this, it couldn't be easier. You literally just type a curl and then the URL you want to talk to. So right here, we're just asking our little test server for its list of users. And boom, the server will send back a chunk of data with exactly that. Simple as that. But, what if you want to send information to the server instead of just getting it? That is where post comes into play. A post request is how you create something new. Okay, let's break this command down because it's pretty cool. We use -x to tell curl what kind of request we're sending, in this case, a post. Then we use -d to include the data we're sending along. This right here, it's the exact same thing that happens when you fill out a sign-up form on a website and hit that submit button. We're just sending some new user info for the server to add to its list. So, we can read data and we can create data. That's a great start. But what about changing something that's already there or getting rid of it altogether? Well, that's what this next batch of methods is for. All right, before we dive in, we've got to clear something up. There are two ways to update data, put and patch. They sound really similar, but the difference is super important. Just remember this. Put is a total replacement, while patch is more like a targeted small change. Let's see what that actually looks like. Think of a put request like this. You're not just editing a file, you're swapping the whole thing out for a brand new one. You're basically telling the server, here, forget that old version, replace it completely with this new one. So in this command, we're targeting a specific user number 2, with the put request. We're sending a whole data package with a name and a new job title. And here's the really crucial part. The server takes this entire object and completely overwrites whatever was there for user 2. So if that user had, say, an email address before, well, it's gone now. Put means total replacement. Now, patch is different. It's the surgical tool. It's like finding one little typo in a huge document and just fixing that single word. You're not rewriting the whole page, you're just patching it. And this command shows the difference perfectly. See that? We are only sending the job field. We're telling the server, hey, for user number 2, just update their job to the 1 and leave everything else, like their name, exactly the way it was. It's way more efficient when you only need to make a small tweak. And last in this group, we have the most straightforward one of all, delete. It does, well, exactly what you think it does. It tells the server to just get rid of a specific thing, permanently. The command is as simple as it looks. Just curl, specify the delete method, and point it at the URL of the thing you want to remove. The server doesn't usually send data back. Instead, it'll send a status code, like 204 no content, which is just its way of saying, yep, got it, it's gone. Okay, so far everything we've done has been about the data itself, getting it, changing it, creating it. But sometimes you just have questions about the data, or you want to know what you're even allowed to do. That's where our last two methods come in. A head request is almost exactly like a GET request, but with one huge difference. The server doesn't send you the actual content. Instead, it just sends you the metadata, data about the data. Things like when was this file last changed or how big is it? It's super useful when you just need to check on something without downloading the whole thing. And in curl, there's a handy shortcut for this, the capital I flag. It tells curl to send a head request. You'll get back all the server details and content type, but you won't see any of the actual user data in the response. And our last method, options, is kind of like asking for the rules of the road before you start driving. Before you even try to send a post or a delete, you can use options to ask the server, hey, for this particular URL, what am I even allowed to do here? And the server will respond with a helpful list like get, post, delete, etc. Wow, we have covered a ton of ground, right? From reading and creating all the way to updating and just asking questions. So let's bring it all together in one simple cheat sheet. And here it is. These 7 methods are basically the core vocabulary of the internet. Get to read, post to create, put to replace, and patch to tweak. Then you've got delete to remove, and head and options to ask questions. This table right here is your takeaway. With these simple curl commands, you can now have a direct conversation with pretty much any server on the planet. So there you have it. You now understand the fundamental verbs that make our entire digital world work. You've seen how you can read, write, update, and delete information from anywhere with just your keyboard. And that's a really powerful new way to look at the internet. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with this? What are you going to go discover?